Hola,
Hola,
buenos
buenos dias
dias
from
from
Chelem.
beautiful Chelem. Couple of Chelemeros here now. So yeah, we're just going to recap a little bit of our crazy adventures so far. If you're just seeing this for the first time, we have now moved down here full time, and some we're going to go over a little bit. Sounds a little bit bad, but it has actually been fun. It's been an exciting process so far, and it's just going to get better from here. So we arrived on October the 4th with all of our worldly belongings, which we had reduced down to basically 10 Rubbermaid bins and 2 bicycles. So pretty light load after 60 plus years of accumulation. So that was kind of difficult to get it all down to that, but it was quite the spectacle in the airport. I'll see if I can throw a photo of that in, of the guys hauling everything out for us. Quite shockingly, we made that through without paying any duty whatsoever. They just skipped right over all of our stuff. I don't know if they just couldn't be bothered or exactly why that was, but hey, we got here to the house safe and sound. It had been raining quite a bit by then. Been pretty rainy the last week or two before we arrived. The jungles had kind of taken over our yard once again with us being away for a year, and so we had to get that addressed. We arrived to no power. The whole area is without power for a couple times in there. When it rains heavily here, that's a pretty common thing, is to be without power. So yeah, our first night here, no power.
Second night, no
No
power.
power. And so after being here for just a couple of days, just kind of sort of started to get unpacked, and then Milton came. So with Milton approaching, they were talking we could get tidal surges of up to a couple of feet into this area and into our property. So we packed all of our stuff back into our bins and put our bed up on top of some chairs and stacked everything we own up on top of the bed and sat down and spent the rest of the evening drinking, waiting for the tidal surge to come to see what was going to happen.
Threw in a couple of prayers in between the drinks, and it worked. We were unscathed.
Apparently, we were supposed to evacuate. We didn't find out until the evacuation had already occurred and almost everybody was gone. So we were sort of stuck here. Yeah, as it turned out, Milton took another turn and we got nothing. We got some high winds and some very, very heavy rains there for a few hours, which we slept through most of that. And yeah, woke up to a nice morning here. The beaches and stuff did take a bit of a beating. There, quite a few of the properties along the beach did lose, some of their frontage and took out some of the espalons and took a few patios off the front of houses. There was one in Chubarna that it knocked it down completely.
Yeah, the sea took it back.
Yeah, a little scary for some of them on that for sure. So after that, I guess we worked on getting the lot cleared. So we had a crew come in. They hauled away about 5 or 6 truckloads of stuff, took out a couple of dead trees for us, did a whole lot of work to try to return our lot back to a
civilization,
back to a reasonable state where we could actually see what we had and see what we had to work with.
And walk out into the yard without being carried away by mosquitoes.
Yes, the mosquitoes have been pretty thick, again, with all the rains they've had lately with the storms. They have finally started fogging again, so we had a fogger go through on Thursday or Friday, I think, finally. So that's getting a lot better. Mm-hmm. We're looking forward to that improving. So where are we at so far? So next up after that,
quick trip to Belize.
Yes, we did run off to Belize, so hopped on the ADIO bus for a 5-hour trip from here down across the border.
The ADIO is ADO, and that's similar to our Greyhound back at home. Although this was a pretty swanky bus. This was a Mercedes bus going down. Very comfortable, very clean. Movies, entertainment system on board.
Yeah. So weather condition
impressive.
Was a little bit cold actually.
Yeah.
So really nice job on that. Had some interesting adventure getting across the border and back. We were told that there would be cabs everywhere. Should be no problem. When we arrived, there was nothing. We know that a lot of local people will simply, I'm a cab. So we did approach a couple of people, and we were told to expect to pay between $50 and $150 US to get us across the border and to the little town in Belize, which we were headed to,
Oh, Corzal.
Corzal. And we had a local picked us up. He refused to take any money from us and drove us around and took us right to our hotel. So that was pretty amazing to be treated like that. Really, really pretty special. And we stayed at a cute little boutique hotel just right across from the ocean there. It's a really super quiet town, like
Quieter than this.
really super quiet little town for a little border town. Not a whole lot going on there. So coming back from there, when we crossed the border, we had them stamp our visas as 1-day entry visas. And the reason for that was we wanted to overstay our visa. So we now became what they call irregular tourists, which means we would now qualify for the regularization program. So under the regularization program, if you have overstayed your visa, you can then apply for 4 years temporary residency. So with the help of our friends at Yucatan Transitional, that's Casey and her husband Pablo, they walked us through the process, got all our paperwork in place, and we walked out with 4 years temporary residency cards.
Yay.
So at the end of the 4 years, we'll be able to trade those in for permanent residency without any other qualifications. So that's the big thing we were looking for. We needed to get that done because that means that we get to stay, which of course is the most important thing for us. After returning from that,
yeah, 2 days after arriving back from Belize, we're just getting our feet back on the ground, and I flushed the toilet, and it came up the shower drain, and I'm pretty sure that's not how it's supposed to work, even in Mexico.
Yeah, that was not the best.
So we got a recommendation of a really good plumber from our neighbor down the street. This guy was super professional. He quoted us a week to do the work, and we had to move out during that time because we had no water.
Well, we had lots of water. We just had nowhere for it to go.
Yeah. So
it wasn't making it into our septic.
Peeing in a bucket. I'll do a lot of things. But so that week turned out to be 3 days. Our good friend Stan has an apartment just 2 blocks away that was not being used at the moment. So we were very fortunate that we were able to stay there. The job got done, say, in quick order. The crew was very respectful, very polite. They did a very neat job.
They cleaned up every day after themselves.
The concrete trough thing.
The original plumbing, the waste plumbing, the way it's done is they basically dig a little trough in the ground, line that with concrete, sort of a U shape of concrete, and then cover that in tiles and then bury it. And that is your sewage line. Well, after 60 years, ours was completely full of roots. It's also not very smooth and not sloped very well. So they cut open our entire bathroom, cut up all of our floor, up to our toilet, our sink, our shower drain, and replaced everything with nice white PVC. So that will last many, many years and should keep the tree roots out of it. It's now nicely sloped all the way into our septic. We found out our septic is actually still in very good shape, so he was happy about that. I don't think he even wanted to crack that thing open and get it pumped. So while they were here, we had them change our water pump as well. Our water pump fills our Tanaka on the roof. And the one that was here, the bearings were going in, and it was deafening every time you turned it on. And every time I did turn it on, I was shocked that it still worked. So very happy to get that done. The new one is now nice and quiet, ready to go. So now we have water, we have power, we have sewage. So we're in good shape now. Hopefully we can stay in our house for a while. We've ordered a couch, or sorry, a sofa. I keep getting corrected. Sofa is still the correct word, even in Spanish apparently. Couch doesn't mean anything to them. So we have a sofa coming.
It's been custom ordered. Especially me, I'm a little bit taller than a Mayan, so we have to add more length in the seat cushion, more height in the back. We've added an ottoman with a hinged lid for storage because we have no storage at the moment, except for the bins that we brought. So yeah, about 3 to 4 weeks, we'll have something comfortable to sit on. Next, I have to work on a table.
Well, when they order a couch for you like that, her first question is it for you or for a rental unit? And if it's for you, then they actually use a higher grade of wood, a better foam, better fabric, depending on the fabric you choose, all this kind of stuff. can all be done in higher grades. So we did go to the higher grade stuff. If it was just for a rental unit, which is probably going to get destroyed in a few years, then they do everything on a cheaper level. So I thought that was pretty cool to have all those sort of options and still have it done that fast. Even if we walked into Sears or Liverpool, one of the other furniture places around here, you're still looking a good 2 or 3 weeks just to get furniture to come in. They don't have stuff in warehouses just ready to go, apparently. So pretty cool to have it all custom made in the same kind of time frame as it would take to just walk into a store and buy it. And
I think that
kind of recaps where we're at so far.
We've met some wonderful people down here already. Super nice couple from Oregon near Portland. They've already had us over to dinner at their place. One day we hope to return the favor, but we need a table for that. So yeah.
But yeah, another little instance of just some unbelievable care that we got from people. We were in Merida. This is on our trip home from Belize. We had to go from one bus depot to another to catch another bus back to Progresso. And I mean, it was, I guess, only about 7 or 8 o'clock, but it's pitch dark and it was raining. It was not a great night out there. And so we walked from one bus depot to the other because we're just way too cheap to take a cab. That's just kind of who we are. And we, in hindsight, we definitely should have. And when we arrived at the bus depot, there was nobody at the ticket counter. So we asked around a little bit. We couldn't find out any information. Finally, Robin tapped a guy on the shoulder that was standing in line in front of us because we could see there was enough people to fill the bus. And I think it was the about second last bus that was about to come up. And we were ready to come home. We had already been on the road all day. And so she asked this gentleman where we could buy tickets. Well, in our best Spanish, and he spoke no English, he misinterpreted that and thought that we needed tickets for the bus, and immediately reached in his pocket and pulled out 100 pesos and handed it to us. And obviously not what we were looking for, but I was just shocked at the generosity of this fellow. I mean, that was his first instinct, was just reach in his pocket and give us money. I mean, we don't look like we're destitute people, I would think, but he was really trying to be helpful, and that just kind of melted our hearts a bit.
Damn foreigners, they come to our country and they ask us for money.
Yeah. So yeah, we're feeling really blessed. We've been really well taken care of by everyone. It has been pretty crazy so far. I will try to get some more videos up as things happen, but this has just been such a whirlwind, we kind of fell behind a little bit. All right, so that kind of recaps where we're at.
And now we're going to the beach.
Yeah, we're gonna grab a couple of cold beers and head down to the beach and have a little swim and just chill out the rest of the day. All right, well, thanks very much for watching.
Hasta luego.
Hasta luego.